ban ebo ya baso ana enya baso body say e obi a yebo modern ewo stroke ayarehwe mu pa enu echi no yare a ebi te say sexual weakness, prostate disorders and prostate problems and as infertility your pulse your yare ahodo bebre a ebri nti yentumi nka nkyerɛ obi tumi age number enu afre doctor ewo 0247 77 1981 and 0261 425985 hwe clinic echi kwan ewo Pokuase Afiaman ye ben Presby transformer ye yedwuma free adwoda ekosi memenda anopa no nwotwe kosi anumere nonum ne efa na enso se memenda de a kai nation enso se ye pon anumere no nan enefa. Kratos wish you good health. Kratos the power to heal.
Teachers are suffering. Teacher trainees are suffering. Nurses are suffering. And nursing trainees are suffering. Patients are suffering. Students are suffering. Traders are suffering. Pensioners are suffering. Drivers are suffering, contractors are suffering, civil servants are suffering, and farmers are suffering. Fishermen are suffering, and industries are suffering. Artisans are suffering, and kayaye are suffering. The disabled are suffering, and men are suffering. Women are suffering, and children and Ghanaians as a whole are suffering.
We are all suffering. Chachabo is suffering. So I'm suffering. In fact, drivers are suffering. Politicians are themselves even suffering. Food soldiers are suffering. Yeah, also good active morning or activity if so. Now, we'll be sending a message. I don't pay a first segment of the show. No, or say Dr. Baumia is suffering from economic sore throats. And it's not ought to be in Kasanti. Ghana Medical Association, but most of my doctors now, young Kosher na young Sunday yare. Maybe do yane Ivan Kyei Innocent. Every train come on after in some course Ghana and in some course for Ghana. And it's in the Wahano. It's what they are so joining in our Facebook at Active TV GH. Active TV GH. Now over to most Saturday. Messages are 0503-236-735 0503-236-735 Mr. Ashafo say sisi am sorry na obi awo be yampia ama menya kata sisi a into the say na wote no the fa sa fa chebe na ye ntodwa omo ye den crap adwuma do ye be ya magana ye no say o hwe Ivan.
Yeah,
good morning.
Morning.
Et say
yeah, menadom aja etiasi there we can't complain.
Before video I be both see no o comment also.
And asema meka say there be a we a public official and say we a public figure. Assembly or can be no. Yeah, you have to be very 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 cautious because of technology ni we as we be adru no. Asem na obeka no idea to be there forever and the time will come. People will use your own words to judge you. So I think that it's a fair game. So sama His Excellency Dr. Baumia then at the political podium now or ye the amount for my budget so you are happy with me can't say now the reality is here. It's a suffering na Ghana for a suffer at this particular time or no and the second gentleman in charge I think say a blow out of proportion on one kasa and economy now say all bad children and economy na kidnap no them say obi ahuno when was the last time ahuno those days na behuno and now ogina Ashasi University of China ogina Central University and now ogina University of Ghana reading theories to amount for but then now power on team pia say or IT expert overnight IT expert and technology and digitization and as for no front. So I think so on one case and the West and are coming back to bite him and the West and I kidnap and I academic.
Okay, now Yanko, come on to change so the state of the economy, the living conditions of Ghanaians.
Yeah.
How did we get here?
I think it's a series of mismanagement and reckless executive decisions I follow consistent streak and me ababedru abi ababedru. So we have a year Africa, never be a year. Yes, it's fair to say utu when you sub-region countries na like yenyina we are the same level. But Ghana, pioneers out here quite fast so independent. Last week we were talking about independence. Quite fast so in the sub-Sahara has a Kwame Nkrumah and Ghana, independence and that particular independence na secure no inspire other countries to also so 10 years after say Ghana independence as a first country 10 years after na 31 and a secure independence by drawing inspiration from Ghana. Independence na economically, you know, we were trying to become self-sufficient, empower ourselves, create industry. A massive economic takeoff. And this say in a full swing. Unfortunately, no, we haven't been able to manage the situation in a way as a manager. Unfortunately, so the other side, politics, the interest of the nation, you know, and a new biakum is about pure partisan politics. In the end of the day, no political agenda, and I actually. And then I show my not saying because to near there is no clear cut pathway. Obaka in the next 20 years, since I'm 2 years, we had a trajectory in the path I am here. In the next 20 years, you know, there is a way out of this particular economic misery. There is nothing like that. It's just a nyame baye. My culture say nyame baye nchichiro Or my be a language and nyame baye that particular of mine no enye yeda because onyankopon free soro e mechichiro man onyankopon nya kwan and onyankopon nsi factory. The nyame betimi aye na enim de odi amawo. So as a human being no one esa wotena se na hu se dem de nyame de ama me e de na metumi de aye. Countries like US and other places, and yes, started here saying a net here. Problems here, challenges here, they went through the same thing. Even in America, it was worse. We go through all these things. At a point, they were fighting for territories. And then for US, 3 largest states, America, and none of them, and America. We had Alaska, then overcall California, and then one other state, these 3 states and Texas. Texas and California and a part of Mexico. But this Mexican US war now, your friend is saying Texas a break away from your friend is saying Mexico. They wanted to join the American Confederacy. Omo join and a conflict talk between US and then Mexico and a conflict that particular war by omo kon war ni we and US for move border na ba bia da no California. So what you did now to me say Mexico for way you Baja California and then we have Alta California Baja na ho so US for no move border no from Equator Baja na Alta no infinity so the whole of California you travel to America ho and then oko California na so we rate economies in the world that the first 5 economies in terms of GDP California any country and so the GDP also change countries like England. Almost apart from Germany, one of the countries France and then California as a state in America, the GDP is bigger than almost about half of the state in Europe. And then Alaska now is a success story. So the making say when you know a long-term vision among for I ever first bit to because Abra is a state way Alaska now. And Mexican Russia for normal control. That particular territory belong to Russia. But then now Omopobia Toman because all have be a war now here Russia. Omuntimi stand control over. So at the time no not superpowers no more we are saying now UK for you so I think UK no more ton that particular land the more. But now America home so America there I feel no more reality yeah, the more cry, so they sold that particular land to America. They never knew so America be rise up by and Alaska it played quite an integral role in the success story America. Texas the same thing, and then California the same thing. Actually, say Omu now went through series of struggles, and yes, as you know, I na ben ye. Omu now go through all these challenges. So young sono, adia bena ye ama ye ho a. Sa the bia economic misery ni challenges here. We met me at Kojina Chiraka say, hey, Yansono Ghana, your journey 65 years, Yabao, these are the troubles, these are the challenges that you go through, and then Yaba Bedru has say, there is nothing like that. Easy way, always, and you try to blame others. The last time we'll be framing or catch me say, Ghana politics, yeah, you know, no, the Otanasia, who say, NDC, MPP, and a major problem, I'm on my way, I'm from, and I'm say, problem Ghana for you, and you NDC and MPP. Problem ayawa ema yentumpo na nye ndisi nye MPP. It is about the mindset of we the people. Because the NDC and the MPP, a political party, they are only leveraging on the kind of psyche ayawa just to do whatever that they do.
Sure.
So if we the people no we are enlightened, now you set it up say Yabema Yabia Yajuma. The NDC, the MPP politics, among for free say, I don't know, sign. That particular thing will be there no more. Because when we become enlightened, Yamaya Nitena, who said, Nipano to one, even though he belongs to my party, but or mess it up, I meant to have a manner. Let the people know, say, so we didn't say, meant for power mount, then they will set up. But consistently, we are gullible. We think it's just about politics, about emotions. It is about free. It is about yanam to abama way, me offer a way in a way. That particular mentality will do two tima. Then the politician will take you for granted. Say no, you are a gullible person. Say because there are some constituencies genuinely in Ghana here. Me say what they are punching. Now the party colors is good so now the nipa jina we na punching away because it's about politics. It's about partisan politics. So when we are voting, we don't look at what you can offer, the personality.
We look at
the political party affiliations, about emotions, hot emotions. So politicians will always leverage on these intellectual loopholes just to remain in power. Because the very moment of impoverished, that is why the power is surging forward. Because that is the mentality that we have. Debia mekasa ya eti no ye nipa adwen papa ni yetim so opasa wo te saase bo ya sia samra slave trade buy no ana abrofo no toto nipa no na abrofo no monwura fie enkonkochi nipa nkoton do ya nkasa ye na ya chi ye nuanom ya chechiro mo yes obi shada dada osoma se kwaje ade bre no na abrofo no gina obokodo wache no do so ya nkasa na ye ton ye nkrofo de ma abrofo no so with that particular mindset no and then they build the politics ya ete hoyin. This is nipa ninya power na appreciation the concept nyina na say dominance or dominated the other guy. Na say oma we self sufficient. Oma we economically empowered. Next time no you can't obo ya hwana be soro de akire because we a medical doctor and as we will be like you are well to do within society. Political party you chobo ya
you just wait for the
exactly. Look at the US and the UK the way they do their politics. The people are economically empowered, self-sufficient. So politician, he doesn't give a damn about you. Oh yeah, well your partner. People do politics in such a way. So we say Donald Trump here me candidate, but in Semuno come on, I won't vote for him. Then he will vote against you. But that particular liberation and that particular economic empowerment in it. They control the people because when the people become self-sufficient, economically empowered, viable, intelligent, and all these things, at the end of the day, you see the weaknesses. And unfortunately, few individuals be assembled and in the name of partisan politics. And unfortunately for the ordinary Ghanaians, I never question our problem. They say various institutions now ordinary, you expect them saying come to to enlighten minds, sabi a man for me breaking the chains of this. Your friend is saying mental slavery. You mean consistently they are the very people who are actively contributing to all these things.
Sure.
Because my culture say, Buddha say, what you think is what you become. But me the can say what you listen to and inform what you think. So no, our capacity to influence who you become. Look at the media landscape, for instance. Yaya Nkrabesi na oda sora no pa. Utina radio hu ne political discussion. NDC niti MPP niti na journalist niti mfimfini. We say no kre, we say nya no kre. Na the journalist sit in the middle, na dey say already test message na so. Ordinary no message na free TV no mu ko no. Eye confusion and almost sell outside. So nipa na otie na know the day no. Onim the otie. And they are channeling misinformation, propaganda, and falsehood. So over the years, so this extreme partisan polarized society or atmosphere, yet who ya, adibia in the politics and as for no worry if you be cribisa or political party maybe I once and worry. That is how the extent of politics na could do.
O say,
if you muku roma, you be party I will join it. Go party if you be NDC no worry. And if you MPP that is the extent I polarize it this particular way. And the contribution I'm away the media, because certain individuals be the very moment they sit behind the microphone, they suddenly they arrogate to themselves they are the warehouse of intelligence, and whatever that they say, people should swallow the hook, line, and sinker. So over the years, it will be TV for 20 years, 30 years, and these people have the opportunity every day. We are selling propaganda and falsehood on one case and on interest and on more sell out there. So I know the day these are messages that are informing the psyche of the people. Definitely, they will never be liberated to become self-empowered, self-sufficient, and then they can make independent decisions on their own. Always under the clips of partisan politics. It's about emotions, it's about sentiment. Elsewhere, it is about some tribal prejudices. Be a man for this ethnocentric and tribal supremacy, and a man for a play. It has say, and it's a tribe when they rule, and it's a tribe when they rule. Obi by a president, a man for the dinner time because of free baby neighbor. What I say. So when you have that particular mindset, say, you don't focus on development, you focus on an individual and whether the person, the idea or fan, wow. Look at our church, for instance, and if you go to some of the churches, church is a avenue, a sacred institution where you expect, say, morals and discipline, still on individuals, and now here TV, I think some of that software, TV, so, and the church, some are turning into avenues for extortion. I had the bonipa chrono in a broad day, and so forth. So these things. And the social and the moral aspect, crumble down, and the respect for human life. I was telling you the last time, it's washing away, and then the individual are not because it has become the order of the day. There is no moral orientation, moral foundation for anybody. The social things now bind there. Strong integrity as individuals. Those things are going away. Now what's one nipa na obanu nimsika winya in a day, but he doesn't care. So she has the go and the respect for human life is no more there.
Professor Stephen Ade Akasa, I say the economy has not collapsed, but we are in difficult times. Do you agree with this assertion?
I think that man, Makana Sembebresi, Ghana Braye Brenyina, some of these guys, I see them to be intellectual imposters. They are hypocrites.
Professor,
it doesn't matter. Listen, me say, it is about conviction, it's about morals. If you don't have them, you can learn to the moon. Listen, this is a manner. In the previous administration, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, president, he was very vocal, very vociferous, and me so be criticized. I don't have any problem because when you have a legitimate cause, he bastardized and insulted and did everything and accused the president and said, "Oh, yeah, family and friends." Then, when indeed, Nipa now wanna buy more sending the family member, Madam Joyce. Yes, so but fine, you have the right to criticize anybody at all. Just like any other Ghanaian. Fast forward to Akufo-Addo's administration. Family and friends, and they say you're practicing in percentage forms. Like what the time say everywhere from the finance minister to wine and your president to offer say any new aba and any new aba na yere dada and yere dada na and offer say and your offer say and ba abusuano mo twa ho ahia. And the bizarre say that moral way now what they criticize it there no. As a moral winner or heaven, and then the same person under Nana Akufo-Addo, he's holding about 3 positions. So we are aware. The same person today is holding about 3 positions.
Or your board chairman, GRA.
Exactly.
Or chairman of the National Development.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
so you see, and it's a baby away. Now he's satisfied. He's okay. When was the last time I was in cancer in the previous days and not chastise bastardize a buying what in cancer?
Say, a Juma.
And Ghana economy, I think we never go ye. Me say, under Fourth Republic, you suffering in Ghana for a coming. Sure, say what we are going through, no, you won't be that. Ghana are reverted to the lowest level. Your dark days, man, your way. So a person of conviction, now I'm part way I've been criticizing about. This is the time. Yet here every day criticizing government on some of the actions you are doing. Say government be bad na stuff now they are doing similar stuff. And that's what I want to criticize there. It means that you don't have conviction. What are some American? Because at the end of the day, no, or conviction be prevailing about training power here. So when you speak, people will take you serious. But this is an individual who over the years chastise, criticize, and then fast forward under this particular regime here, to say a nema a blow out of proportion, and he doesn't have that particular moral conviction to call the president out and say no, things we criticized in the past and it's been practiced in thousandfold. And as a man of conviction, as a professor or whoever, no, I am speaking against this, or let us do the right thing. He is comfortable. He has gone for about 3 positions, drawing salary, fat salary without any responsible job, and he's happy, and that gives him a motivation and self-satisfaction, and he's okay with that. But the majority of people who are wallowing in the pool of poverty, people who are dying out of disease, the misery, the economic misery that is hanging, the desperation that is hanging, he doesn't give a damn, because today he's well to do it, because he commands a lot of authority and the position as a former. Also, such a character is a character, he doesn't have any conviction, and when he speaks, I don't expect anybody to take him serious, because he's no different from people who are in control of this particular country, amassing wealth to themselves, and other stuff. Because Opese Ghana for taking it serious, he should go back to the words that he said in the last years, and then just oppose the same contrast in this particular situation, and speak to baby ayawe and they Ghana is teetering on the brink of a possible economic collapse.
But per your own words, he's now a government appointee,
yes,
so he can't speak against the government.
No, then where lies your conviction as a human being? If you appoint me as a minister and you mess up, and I disagree with you, I will speak my mind, because that's what makes you a human being. Fast forward, Donald Trump administration when he was in charge. There were people within his own party at the Senate who stood up to him and said, no, Trump support. And some of his own people were pushing, say, prosecuting over the Capitol Hill riot in AC. So you see, as a human being, that is what I'm saying. Say, we have lost our sense of we have lost this sense of morality. It is about allegiance to partisan politics and extreme one. Any bearing on wisdom, any bearing on well-being of the people. It is about self-interest. It's about me. It is about what I'll get at the end of the day. In the assembly bar, the person will not have that particular conviction to stand up and confront the issue. And then at the end of the day, no, baby. But nipa yet develop that particular your conscience, you activate it to the finest form. Now the be juma. I know the nipa na woni ni juma no kura suru, because okoya the born him say no, way people will talk about it. But politics na there are no morals, there are no values. People have become loose cannons. They are unpredictable. They can just wake up and do anything. And that is the modus operandi. That is the way you government in a typical case where will be engaging in your friend saying act is an act of corruption. A broad day plan that cause you pay. But nobody is talking about it. I buy new prosecutor, I'm for you. Prosecuting in Krovobi. There are a lot of people who are infractions near Mayo Kromano, ascertain what happened in the past. But the government are turning a blind eye on that.
President said, what evidence, Fabra? If you don't have any evidence, how can you prosecute it?
And that is why I told you the last time that is a reckless talk. That is a reckless talk that must not come from a president. Remember evidence, Emra. Now politics na some fashion saying the might of the state na ya betrothed to the president in some fanya den state resources na ya committed to him no some fanya den the might of the state has been given to you, so at any point in time issues bar you as a state move in to investigate, and then if possible, unya evidence a warranted prosecution, you do. Now, individual not here. My job is to raise the red flag. That is what the media do. It is not my job to provide evidence. And where you required me to help you get the evidence, I think we can work together. But don't tell me that you get the evidence before we can, because the might of the state. Don't forget that the AG is armed with the prosecutorial authority, and unfortunately, we even have the special prosecutor, and these people are being paid by the taxpayer. Job saying to fish out for evidence and prosecute wrongdoing. That is what they are supposed to do. And this is a raising red flags that Minister Waya at the Bonia. It is up to even politics. I've told you, say a tribal on perception, and for you to quash that particular wrong perception is some kind of misconception people will develop about your government. You investigate to clear doubt on the minds of the people, because the next year you go to the people for vote. So if people have that lingering concerns on their mind, those misconceptions on their mind, say you are corrupt, or minister you are corrupt. Now, by now, with all the resources, we won't move to clear the doubt. At the end of the day, it will go against you. So, as a reasonable, sensible government in this civilized jurisdiction, so being raising the hand against you as a government with all the resources at your disposal, it is your job. It is incumbent upon you to clear yourself and clear doubt, purge doubt on the minds of people out there. Say, oh, I say me I can't find minister when that is not the case. But we've gotten to a situation where somebody has been accused of corruption, and the president will have the guts to come and clear the person and say, oh, classical case, the president took the podium without any shred of investigation conducted anywhere, without even a preliminary stage of investigation to validate or the otherwise claims. The president did it, and there are several cases where the president himself will move into the stage and then brush it aside. Executive president armed with overwhelming authority, all the prosecutorial powers will go to sleep, because if you go ahead to do it, then it means that you are challenging the powers of the president. And at the end of the day, you make enemies for yourself. So on their own, they will shy away because the president has cleared the person. And that has become the order of the day. Look at what happened here to Kroma. You say excavators are over 50. Videos, audios, one besin there. Yentime investigating one cry. The president is comfortable. He's there. Sikaya Lusu Okroma, corruption upon corruption, family members' involvement in all these shady deals going on. The president's attitude towards all these things is deafening silence. He doesn't give a damn. He's in power. After all, he doesn't need your vote in the next 4 years. And that is the attitude and the posture of power towards what is happening. So it's not as if saying evidence. It is not my job to provide evidence. It is my job to raise the red flag. And as government armed with powers and resources, everything at your disposal, it is your job to move in, to investigate, to clear, say, so if you are not ready to do that, it means the governance now. So I think we really need to do a lot to elevate this particular politics beyond what we are doing. Because it doesn't look like say governance in a year. This whole thing is turning out to be like a criminal enterprise and certain people who are just quick enough at taking advantage and holding everybody to ransom. Okay. They satisfy or man more personal gain.
Obet me adjourn discussion via our WhatsApp line 0503 236 0503 for messages efa say line we so na ye ne wo ebetwetwe nkomo kai say ye ne Ivan Innocent chi and ebo nkomo ye we maybe lines number now also wafre a quick one on the state of the economy now you call the next topic so
yes, so you will admit baby and
okay, looking at the kind of hope and believer Nado any Baumia, especially from Baumia, what they buy on the economy. Sometimes I tend to forgive Nanado because he's not an economist.
Okay.
We know him to be a lawyer.
Okay.
But Oshe, how Baumia made us believe, say he has all the economic powers to solve the problems. Are you shocked, say, Sisiano, he's quiet and he's not going into the economy at all?
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I think, you see, you cannot absolve the president of blame. You can't exonerate him from this in particular thing. Because Yakasa will be a president, especially where we are, an executive president. you are armed with so much authority to the sense say, so we are president of Africa, be a idea wouldn't to me, ne say, Obakasa a man quite mortality, so I say, man quite mortality. That is the only power you don't have. The president can order you to be killed. So names are through the court and there are a whole lot of things that the president armed with enormous powers. So we are president now with this particular power. I say, oh, now see the state with your job is to enlist the finest of human resources that are available within the country, even beyond the borders of the country. Nippon meeting I'm will realize that particular dream. And no, that is your job. So failure to do so will make you complicit. Because you have the power to enlist the finest of human brain, human resources that are available within and even beyond your borders to help you achieve whatever set of goals you want to implement. Failure to do so makes you complicit in everything because at the end of the day, so Dr. Baumia I told you, say, on some no can say Ghana for see my need that and because when people start teasing out your friends saying theories from textbooks, reading lectures to people, how economy can be turned around, and as for now we will be aware knowledgeable, now we are very reasonable. You have a lot of queries because books you know as for now can one are economics written in different contexts altogether. So you need to prove to the people say there is a link with Myanmar that particular way in that particular context, a bit more feasible within our context.
Sure.
What I say? Because economic textbooks are actually in America, somewhere your friend is Texas and then as a foreign. We imported the Baha, say over be implemented. It's not
very different thing altogether.
Yes, you have some of these challenges and stuff. So sa kasa na theories and my general economy na making kind books in as a foreign. You need to prove that you have the practical sense. The practical sense to be able to make these things feasible within the context of your way, how you can transform the economy. Because never a driver the American economy elsewhere is different from what drives our economy here. And unfortunately for us, there are a lot of things we are overlooking as a country. So as a reasonable and a seasoned economist, I hope person will transform your country. You know? When you sit back, you're back against the wall, you just look through the economy. Then you look at areas you can use to make money. There are areas we can use to make money. And then Oko US, so what amount of money they get from Hollywood or Yemba show. And Hollywood, I don't know how to describe it, but I think say about one of the backbone over the years. Abua America, I drew a because I draw a lot of foreign investment or in the movie industry and other stuff. I have say, what are we doing? We have we can set up a movie industry, come up with our own streaming site, and then when you do the movie, you just put it there. People will pay and they watch. The television stations are pay-per-view or more your friend is boxing and as a phone. So every eyeball is paid for. So with all these things, you know, can't we just set up a very your friend is the industry and as a government, you know, through private investment, you know, set up a huge movie industry by drawing a lot of people on board. Nipano teams that they are knowledgeable, they will come out with stories, you know, a prophecy into the future. How everything is stagey or mind and so forth, because that is what America did. So we American old movies, you know, now predict what America will be in the next 50 to 20 years. And that war, Russia and Ukraine air queen. There was a movie on Netflix. Title near your friend is saying, is it Shooter? Yes, Shooter. That particular movie was done 3 years ago. It predicted this particular war. Clearly everything is playing out. So actually, a movie is not just about but rather you look into the future and how you want to position the country. You know, you can use movie to do these things. Then you psych the people. So when you have those things on the screen, you psych people to follow. But look at where we are. I was telling somebody out there saying, "Oh, hey, TV, movies are in Korea, movie are in Japan, movie are in India, and I change subtitle in NP, and I tell one I infuse these things in a Nippon war say. So I know the cultural settings are those movies are different. The orientation, what the moral we young person achieve are totally different from what we do here. And these are things we are putting on our TV screen, driving our people away, shoving our culture, elevating other people's culture, and then we're forgetting about the fact that there is an industry here, there are human beings with talent. At the end of the day, you know, you're moving in as a country. We'll get to a time where the movie industry will become a robust industry the country can benefit from. The same way you can link it to the music. music, we have a lot of talent. How do we cash on all these talents? Because at the end of the day, it's not always about school. It is not always about the graduate. What about the vast majority of people who couldn't go to the university? Almost no. But these people have talent. I told you, so the whole essence of education isn't about say you produce you a man forward, your friends a PhD, or be a professor, and it is about structuring education in such a way. So education, you know, a bit to me bringing the best out of everybody. What I say, because every human beings, you know, we are locked up with enormous talent and your friends saying potentials. So education, the whole essence of education is to unlock it. This is unlock here. The person will click to his finest form. So go to America, for instance, you say a land of opportunities. Nippon more sell all over to TVs. You know, how many of them are doctors? How many of them are professors? Some are in the movie, some are into the movies, some are into comedy, even comedy crana be a huge industry, and American people are cashing on it because and the depression Nema bebre aba among for because of the challenges among for go through no. You need to give people something on better say asere e wo ho. COVID-19 by among for aka o modern. People went to social media and video bi obehu bia we a comedian and answer those comic industry. That is the time I know the day no. You tune people's mind to, and all these things will come and rake in revenue that the country will benefit. So minor crime benefit. I know that then you may end up creating a lot of stars who have international exposure, and when they go, money will follow. People will see, say, no, the movie industry in Ghana is growing. So the technology we need to. The way they do the movies, I think the ideas were positive, but they didn't have people who help them. If you look at the storylines, I know more try. Just say, if you go to the kind of editing and as for more editing and as for obiti kumasin or yet war film. Just say, these people are clearly jokers and they don't even know what they are doing. But our mind are moving in, pumping in resources, buying the technology, and as for no man. Then you could see that we are serious.
I want to be
and when you heard those movies will only be relevant when you exposure to watch what is going on in other countries. That is when that particular movie will become relevant. First, DSTV house in you feel good. But now there is an exposure to those movies. Park cry now had the euphoria now by her house in a
commentary box cry.
Exactly, a pull you off. That is the same way. Do American the way they do their movies now too. And never has a kumase your friends a war film. Now they don't say you beat me too on and now had the technology. Her cry it will pull you back. What I said American. So I think we need to do a lot just to invest it. Not your mom for a physical room. I said this is our mind. We can cash in, and I know the day no. I did among for news. I hope I said, we educate among for our home. So we school free one of the crucial avenue a movie. Do you know that?
Sure.
Because a play on the psyche. No more gay and for. You see, there has been a vibrant war against them in some countries. Gay the young also transgender the young also. By apart from China and other places. Netflix, and people are signing on to. I'm giving you an assignment from 2015 till date. Every series movie, any Christian movie, a Netflix, a snapshot of gay, we are a woman. Either they are talking about gay or either they are talking about lesbianism. When a girlfriend, when a boyfriend, you see. Subtle, it's a way of reorienting the mind of people out there to gay. So what's the Parliament? Yanjintum or Batifie at Netflix. Bema, and do free Parliament. To me and Obana practicing. It's a way or more orienting among for a mind to elevating a certain culture. Your culture or infant. We've lost the culture because your movies, you promote it. Nobody's investing. And a German crofobino, almost more any biara, the Babani Timbia out of their trusted minds, they just put anything on screen. And that thing the capacity to poison the minds of people out there. So I think we need to move in, regulate. And at the end of the day, we can even get money out of that particular place. Okay,
thank you. I think movie industry, mama, we clearly over Ghana we don't have any streaming way. Over Nigeria, we have the Iroko TV, the Ibaka TV, Omodomo TV station, Omodomo movies. Most Ghanaians are subscribing to it. We need to do same for our movie industry. I mean, kind messages in the Abano. I say good morning, watching you live from Inquanta. Oti region. My name is Masawudu Hamza Junior Capello. In fact, small boy with big brain, Ivan. In fact, Sami Jemfi in the making. Ivan is too intelligent. Thank you for your message all the way from Nkwanta Oti region. Let's stop fighting for political parties and rather fight for Ghana. Thanks for this show to save Ghana from this administration. Indeed, the people of Ghana are deeply suffering. Nana Kwame at Accra. Yeah, that's say. You may call Facebook, but Evan, you call your next discussion.
Okay.
Last week, Supreme Court gave ruling.
Yeah.
Ruling or now or say a year first deputy speaker.
Yeah.
Able to be Atwaba.
Yeah.
Our parliament. We know all what the constitution says and what the standing orders of parliament say. Minority describing that move they say as a parliamentary coup.
Yeah.
Do you agree with what the Supreme Court said?
Yes, I think baby ya bedru ya nkasa ye create problems for ourselves, and say ya we risk losing this particular democracy because when you look around, you can admit there is tension brew around, and economically people are complaining. A veil of certain desperation is hovering around that atmosphere. So you expect power wielders to behave in a manner just to achieve that particular coercion. And yes, I know break here. So in such a charged atmosphere, you expect people armed with authority and constitutional powers to behave in a manner not charged atmosphere na yete hono explode na engine free yes, say obi asem na call parliament call Supreme Court a ruling hono. If you want to pick it from a constitutional point of view, and if you want to make fair argument, it makes sense. Say Yabeja Tum say deputy speaker and Twaba. That's my position. Because the argument will be like, okay, Papa no or ye MPO, ya Twaba man or representing nipa or parliament. Enti adentina obetino speaker akunwemu and ntino olusu ne vote na onya daje onya kwan and representing nipa by voting that particular way, it is not fair. So if you limit the discussion to that particular level without considering other factors that play even at parliament, then you will be quick enough to rule say, oh yes, and see a man to balance the scales, justice. But as a Supreme Court, I was expecting them to look beyond the constitutional provision and look at other critical factors. I warranted that particular decision. If you go to parliament right now, speaker akumyana team no speaker na nyenipa so nimza let us assume the speaker no take Babin out of the speaker out of the chair and look at the speaker chair. Ghana your rule is when somebody sits in that particular chair no, you assume a posture of neutrality. You're supposed to be fair and firm. You're supposed to be resolute, and you're supposed to be impartial. That is what the chair comes with. So you may be an MP representing your people, but once you become a deputy speaker of parliament, don't forget that when you go to court and make argument, it is not fair. Or representing Nipanti, a man and Twaba, you deny an increase for no opportunity to vote. You are also forgetting about the other way, the other like privileges that come with the position. Because there are a lot of privileges that come with being a deputy speaker. Even among your own colleagues, they respect you. They accord you certain respect because you are a deputy speaker. And beyond that, there are certain privileges that you are accorded that your other colleagues don't have it. So in this particular vein, you are accepting the privileges, but where you are supposed to let your first vote go and decide on other issues, that particular thing you are not interested. That is what I'm saying is if the Supreme Court had taken judicial notice of the fact these are the kind of event play out in parliament, maybe the decision would have been different. Because I don't support the argument that parliament is supposed to be an independent way the no organ in government organ has a independent. So parliament may not be overly independent. But I've always argued until the activities of parliament transgress on legal prohibition, a clear-cut constitutional provision, a breach as a straightforward infraction on the constitutional provision, the Supreme Court can regulate. But until that, so wait me say the activities of Parliament transgress on a particular legal your friends a prohibition, you know, you're not supposed to move in because Parliament is a body on its own. A feed from best practice, best democratic practices, and as a best democratic practices around the world. Omo ankasa no ewo mo rules of engagement omo de adwuma within Parliament and no feed it back from the constitution. And I think it's common around the world. Obia o kwan afa so a in the US, for instance, Okoha Senate now more iron in such a way say Omohono speaker chair you are not neutral because Pelosi belonging to the Democrats and Otuaba argument here bibia Oko Yuka is different. The speaker and Tuaba. What I say this a do point where be a tie, then you vote to break it. And if you, some of them even have convention, there is this thing called Dennison rule. Rule in say you to say paya or Parliament rule which say you lose the motion is lost. So the speaker will not vote for the tie, he will vote against the tie. Say by intimate breaking just to afford Parliament the next opportunity for further deliberation. What I say? Because on this speaker he still want to assume that posture of neutrality and decide and side you to about pie. He will vote against the tie, and they give you another opportunity to go argue among yourself to make sure someone can break the tie. No? These are things play out elsewhere. So the question is, so the way Supreme Court ruling in Ababontina, or say we see a man of Kwaman and Tuaba, what Tuaba ni be. So I know the day no on a deputy speaker, Yamana Kwaman Tuaba, ya Tuaba ni we say even though what to be a paya, a better. Are we going to have a speaker who is going to break the tie again? And I say, because motion is lost. Is that you see? They are just driving us into a realm of constitutional absurdity, and I sense there is an overreach of your friends judicial arm into the eye of the judicial of the legislature. Don't you think so? And it's unfortunate.
Don't you think so? All these things are coming up because the majority group in Parliament, you know, is refusing to accept the fact that there's something we call a hung Parliament.
Yeah, and that is the problem. You see, so we had the attitude, the posture of people of the majority, and even the government itself. Across KG classroom, yeah, the Parliament we nature kochire no. But we say, oh, Parliament we dance on beti meya adwuma there. There must be consensus building all along the way. What I say. So you don't assume a posture where you disrespect, you throw shade, you try to use buga means to take people off Parliament and do all these things. You need to work together. So over the years, this useless politics, Parliament, NDC, MPP politics, emotions charged, then this is the time to set that particular aside where you have majority and the minority working together to ensure say Ghana interest will prevail. But that isn't the posture. Maybe but the president and the government thinks because they are in power, they can just get away with everything. I think that is what is informing all these things that is coming up. Because ordinarily, the right thing to do at this particular time is to assume a posture that will make me engender confidence in Obia, together to achieve common good. But it's not about the common good. It is always about the partisan interest prevailing over the national interest. So I know the day, you know, you qualify Japan, Japan, the bank for you anymore, or Munjintum, because Musun say a corona busian for BD Bababo on the bottom. So if that is the case, then the making sure say we have the majority, even though it's a hung parliament, so that we can just get away with everything. And it's the reason why we are here. Because if you look at what is coming, you see, Supreme Court ruling no by people have taken a lot of positions. Even constitutional lawyers. I have listened to a couple of guys. 2 days ago, I spoke to your friend, a professor who is a law professor, and his views on this particular thing was very interesting and mind-boggling on this particular matter. A sharp deviation from what the Supreme Court agreed on, because the argument is a Parliament. It's a body on its own, a rule, a tribal on certain rules. They have their customs and they have their conventions. Because the Supreme Court is here, and I say, President and appointed Supreme Court judge. So case ba. Now say why no better court no better case in this no. sole discretion of the judiciary and the Chief Justice to determine who sits on the case. What I say, nobody from the outside can go and ask the Supreme Court, your friend say, Chief Justice say, now Argentina, the case be and I say, Argentina case be a union idea. You say what case back across Argentina. Nobody is questioning the Chief Justice because that is the sole prerogative given to him. He's supposed to exercise that particular discretion and then office had the right. So that particular right, even though people may have questions, people may have misgivings concerning some of the panel no more set up or not, but because you are not armed with that particular authority, nobody is questioning the Chief Justice. He's doing his thing. So within Parliament, they have rules of engagement the way they do about their things. The first deputy speaker is not voting because chair and only trauma you assume a posture of neutrality. So at the end of the day, so when the Parliament to about you can say yeah for no so who say and say or no can who be na say otm no na say wait for yeah do things he will go against the ono ankasa or otm can be. So that is why I said they are just driving into a realm of constitutional absurdity, and if we are not careful this thing will blow out of hand. Because for the first time Speaker of Parliament okay cannot grant the president. What's about being kind so win him now clearly he's not somebody or for him to go to that particular extent okay cannot be the president. Something is going on, and then there are certain persons within the majority side who are also bastardizing and throwing shade at the speaker. So at the end of the day, on the face of it, look at the kind of tension this thing is creating beyond above the already your friend is saying torture situation that we have. The torturous relationship existing in Parliament relative to everything being partisan already, grounds and then this thing is coming up. So if you are not careful, your job is to hold us together as a country, to integrate. I know that the one here, you break the cohesion and this nation will just slip into the abyss. And if you are not careful, everybody will become a victim because some of these decisions, our capacity, and we will throw the nation into our dark days. Cote d'Ivoire, Samra, Basabasa, Enisi, or judges from woman, you know, so Ghana has it. They all run from Cote d'Ivoire, even though they were judges. Professor Nelson, the Bemo, by beating a hotel and now, which means there's a minor Jibuma account. But we're living in a country where consistently people are developing certain perceptions. Say no, judiciary way they are working for government because some of the rulings about him or him and these are impression people have, and you can't begrudge them because consistently, Assembly Free Supreme Court, beba 7 judges to say, I say no, obey or disagree, and Kokra 4-7, another one, beba Kokra 4-7, then we begin to question, say, then the trend feed into the larger public perception, say these people are really not being fair. They are working for a government. They have become an appendages of a particular power that be, and they are being driven to do things that satisfy the whims and the conveniences of the government that is in power. When people build that particular perception, do you know how dangerous it is? A time will come, people will lose respect for the court. A time will come, court, they best settle on the street. People will become law unto themselves. People will arm themselves. People will take arms to defend themselves without going to the court. Because when say, as some way the court, people are threatening that the next elections, and they are in court. I'm not court to be. And this a banner say, because say a court, nobody is going to deliver justice. A child say when you hear such sentiments being expressed, even at the national level on TV by top politicians, and so forth, a child say people have lost trust in the court as an institution, and that is very dangerous. Especially when we are coming from the background where judges have been caught on tape, and they are dispensing justice based on that. And that video is a classic case, and nobody can dispute that. And there are several other, your friends say, conspiracies coming up. A lot of allegations coming up, whether they are true. Quite recently, the Chief Justice thereby will be accusing of a bribe. What I say, you see, these things may not be true, but the perception that is building, very consistent. Then I won't want their far when there be allegation, and people will also there are other conspiracy theorists that would say there is no smoke without fire. But the very moment about
some of my say people are building perception.
Yeah.
We know say judges term security. It's a security band. 10 security band. are we getting to a stage where if an opposition, a winning election now, or find ways and means to move all the judges out of their, especially the Supreme Court judges, because if you're the current judges, they were appointed by a particular president.
Yeah, that is not supposed to be. We see over the years, Rollins depends on appointed judges, but you see, we never at any point in time they elevated the discussion around Supreme Court judges to a level where TV so and we talk about it. It is about the level of infiltration, the level of infiltration, and people who are known partisan activists are slip into the judiciary. Quite recently, I think there was a guy who contested on a particular party ticket. He's been pushed into the High Court and other places. There are other persons. People are even challenging some of the Supreme Court. You see, when you do all these things, people sitting at far, and the rate at which people are being pushed into the Supreme Court. Nana Akufo-Addo, I think that the last time I checked, over by 11 judges push you to the Supreme Court. Yeah, people may argue, say, been more retired, so we need to replace them and those stuff. But you see, Makachro said, we can get a bastardized your friend is an executive. The legislature can be bastardized based on their partisan lineages and associations and ties. But one institution that can never lose its neutrality, the judiciary, is the last man standing. So at the end of the day, if these are the impression that people are building, that the judiciary is not fair, the judiciary is biased, the judiciary is working for a government, president is appointing his friends and cronies, they are dispensing justice based on their lineage, and when you are this political party, you take issue to court, there is no way justice will dispense for you, and people build impressions. So a time will come, people will lose trust and confidence in the whole judicial setup, like I told you. So a particular government who is also vicious may come and decide to just muzzle the law and throw all of them away. Because the argument will be that people don't have trust in you. And that poses a national security threat to our country. And anything that poses national security threat to a country has to be taken away. And on that particular basis, the whole Supreme Court judges can be bundled together. And then you just put them aside. And then you appoint few people. Okay. And that thing may be in a clear violation of the Constitution. But I know that when people have power and they are committed to doing something, and when they bundle you, say, well, we are a threat to national security, you can't do anything. Because I'm not US for Moko Bombay, your friends say, we see, you know. Nana one see, you know. US by desperate, and you're chaman for, you're setting up bounty hunters. Unipabia, Unimse, or you're affiliated to Al Qaeda and Asafo Chenafabra. So, I'm going to end up, I'm going to change nipa be no mo ko US na we catch am say emra ben e betim dey do omo na no within our status there is no law betim here, because in the worst case scenario those individuals are, how do you call it, your friend say war criminals or something like that betim here, and I say omo ye we are emra no bo mo ban enti then e betim aye ade your friend say you betim dey aye any information from them. Then they acquired a new designation, they gave it to them, said these people are enemy combatants of state. Offer constitution, so that was the new designation that was given to them, enemy combatant of state. Yes, someone in the dome Kugu, Guantanamo Bay. Emrabia, because who had the status book of the US, there is nowhere you find Emrano Ekasa about who is an enemy combatant of state. You are designated to say, oh, yeah, enemy of state. And on that particular soul basis, those people were kept in Guantanamo Bay. Yeah, Obama buy a be more free. Two be Ghana. Okay. Two be Ghana. That is the strategy that people do. So when people think that who pose threat to national security, a way they can just find to take you away, and I say, yeah, I'm it's so easy. But I don't want a situation where we will get there. Everybody will lose trust and confidence in the judiciary. They must behave in such a way, say, engender confidence and empower the citizens to have faith in the judiciary. But case Baba Bontin, all the 9 judges, everybody not dissenting, 9 judges, nobody dissenting. Who does that? And these are seasoned, reasonable persons who are learned. At the end of the day, you can't tell us that all of you agree and then nobody. Yes, it's possible, but you see, the rate at which it's happening, it creates a lot of suspicion for people. What has American? So I think they need to do a lot, because Sankomu take judicial notice of the fact that Parliament as a body FED into a larger parliamentary democracy out there, and most of the practices and conventions at parliament, even the ruling, even the Supreme Court justices, they realize that because these parliamentary customs and conventions play out elsewhere. These are best practices you choose from, and you use that to create your own thing. Just like the Chief Justice, have the discretion and the sole prerogative to appoint who sits on which case, The same way the Speaker is armed with that particular authority, whether the Speaker doesn't belong to a party or not, it's not the issue. The very moment you are Deputy Speaker, you represent people. Once you sit in the Speaker's chair, you are also enjoying the privileges. And that particular case, you are not an MP anymore. You are supposed to be neutral, you are supposed to be impartial, and you are supposed to dispense or preside over affairs without being seen as being overly partisan or whatever. But this is the thing. Supreme Court, are taking away. So if you are not careful, we are going to create confusion in Parliament, parliamentary business, harmony now over the years. I'm working with we are going to take that particular thing away. And I respect the deputy speakers over the years. They are going to lose it because if you want your original vote, it means that the privileges must be taken away. And I'm urging the Parliament that if indeed they are going to go ahead to implement this particular thing and accord the first deputy speakers of these, your friends, a first vote, original vote, if they are going to give it to them to vote, then the privileges on the table, they should take it away because they don't deserve it. Because you can't win here and come and win here. So you choose one. Either you retain the original vote and let go the privileges, or you just let go the original vote and take the privileges. But it can't be a win-win for you. I think, you see, because a common sense is enough to trigger everybody to realize, the ruling as Supreme Court, constitutionally, they may get it right. But if you look at the other related things and the fact that when you zoom in Parliament into the picture and the internal to achieve harmony and stuff, clearly they have just driven the whole country into a realm of a constitutional absurdity. Things will just get off hand, especially when you have such a tension-inspired Parliament. Maybe I aware, okay. Parliament is tension-inspired, and you expect everything to quash it. And I say the form. Okay,
George, if I send a message or say, I agree with Ivan on this issue. Now, yesterday in Parliament, Deputy Finance Minister John Kuma moved a motion for Parliament to approve a 30 million euro loan facility. Finance Minister and his deputies were hopeful the loan agreement will be approved. To their surprise, Minority Leader Haruna Iddrisu pulled out the Supreme Court judgment, which says deputy speakers can vote, and read portions of it. His argument was that the Supreme Court in that judgment differentiated between a business quorum and a voting quorum, and that though the House formed a quorum to do business, there was no quorum for it to vote to approve the loan agreement. He went on to argue that since the Supreme Court had taken its powers of being a master of its own procedures from them per the Kulendi judgment, the House cannot rely on Article 1110 to approve the loan. At this point, the MPP side was confused. The Deputy Speaker was equally confused. There was nothing they could do except to adjourn sitting. The loan agreement does not approved. So you see, when Akufo-Addo became official spokesperson for the Supreme Court after the roundly criticized judgment, little did he know that in less than a week, his government will suffer as a result.
So you see the absurdity I mentioned. That is the realm they've driven us into. Now, because if you are trying to muzzle the activities, you are trying to control. Don't forget that the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature are on the same pedestal. So for you to coexist, there must be mutual respect for one another. So when there is an overstretch of executive, a judicial arm into the affairs of the legislature, definitely they will scream and they will meet you with the resistance. And that is what is going on. Yes, you can sit at your court and just give judgment and stuff. But here, you're going to stifle government business because people are also going to regulate and do things in a manner making sure that their interests will also prevail. And that is why we've got into. I was expecting the Supreme Court said they could have just taken the judicial notice of all these factors, these critical factors over the years, and now play out in our parliament. Nanka, this particular matter, no, they should just allow parliament to regulate it in such a way, say, but if you move in to regulate for them, some of these things will play out. And it's unfortunate we are here. And the third aspect is the hasty move by the president to comment on this particular matter. I think his advisors must speak to him. You are a president, the number one person. If you now already a creative tension among for or diverse opinion, diverse interpretation, even among constitutional lawyers. I told you I spoke to a law professor. His views on this particular thing was very interesting, and other people are speaking in a different term. You have exactly, and even on TV, people, lawyers on TV speaking different languages, giving different interpretation, different twist and stuff. So there is no common position on this particular thing. So if you move in as president, I will be able to take a position and take one side. Everybody will come after you. So I think that particular comment he made was needless. Yes, he's entitled to make his comment, but you need to ask yourself, Nipa away, and the position and what you represent. When you move in, that is why the speaker came here and insulted him. Look at the on the president comment. You see, so when you are far and you are watching what is playing out at the political podium, you feel scared and say, oh, these are people at the various highest point to expect them to work together to achieve harmony, to ensure that we work together. Then you have the chief justice, we have the president, and you have speaker of parliament, all of them sitting on tenterhooks. They cannot see eye to eye, battling over this particular matter, creating confusion in a storm. I think that the ruling was totally unnecessary. They should have avoided it, but it's unfortunate they went ahead, and I can't kill public confidence already, because my cultural, the kind of lingering concerns and the kind of perception people out there have about the judiciary relative to what played out even on the election petition. You see, people were poisoned in their mind about the judiciary, and the fact they are fair, firm, and resolute. People don't see that anymore. So you, as a judge, as a court, all you have to do is to amend the broken parts of the judicial net. But you amend them just to secure public confidence. Sabi amon for benya hope. And no benya sama they prefer so beton kusia they account to ankobodua than so court, because when you saw court on justice. But I say we must not get there. Ever people become law unto themselves, and we may lose this particular country. Me say common sense is enough. People should use their common sense to preside over affairs and know say you can learn everything with that element of common sense, logical reasoning, and the wisdom. You are nothing. And Saadia Sanka a come to bear a play out in this particular ruling. Sanka common sense a play out in this particular ruling by taking cognizance of all the internal mechanism within parliament, and the fact that if you did from a larger parliamentary practice that are accepted elsewhere. Baby, I told you what happened in the US, different settings. You can just do a narrow argument and say because of representing Nipa, and when he's not allowed to retain the original vote, his constituents are denied. What about the privileges that particular constituency or member of parliament is a deputy speaker and could sit over the affairs in the house? Now I presided. What about that privileges? What about the privileges that comes with it? It's a narrow argument to make when you decide to just narrow that particular thing. And on the other side, for you to achieve harmony, Parliament could have had a representation in Parliament, at least to argue their way, also why they do what they do. So after they are heard on the matter, then you can rule and you see you achieve harmony. But you because I'm Supreme Court, I'm armed with the constitutional authority to interpret the law. Law no be interpreted, now they may implement it. So
okay, Ivan Kyei, a message honorable on the president. But before that, okay, Albert Duncan was sending a message or say, I was shocked the president was talking about disallowing the first deputy speaker, the Supreme Court disallowing, saying that if the first speaker doesn't vote, we stop him from representing his people. Are they aware that the people of Sao are not having a representation? Who votes for them? That's a question that Obisa. But Ivan Kyei, Ababa message was sending, was saying, good morning, comrades. I have resisted the temptation of making a comment on the judgment of the Supreme Court on the issue of the voting rights of deputy speakers when presiding. but the unfortunate and myopic comments of the president has compelled me to let it out. The Supreme Court decision is, to say the least, not only an absurdity, but a reckless incursion into the remit of Parliament. The trend of unanimity is equally troubling. It doesn't help explore and expand our legal jurisprudence. The president's comment is myopic and unfortunate. It only goes to worsen the schism between the executive and Parliament. The impartiality of the Speaker, Deputy Speaker, or presiding officer has been treasured and fought for by this country throughout our democratic development. Mr. President, the issue being discussed is not about Parliament being above the law. Everyone knows that Parliament is not above the law.
Yeah.
The executive and the judiciary are equally not above the law. The issue being discussed is the political question doctrine. It took centuries to detail out the strands of this doctrine, and the principles are settled as to when and how this closed book could be opened. Please, I encourage the plaintiff to go for a review, and maybe I also or describe the president's comment as myopic and unfortunate.
Yeah, but you see, the reason why review most often or not, I don't want to sound prejudicial, but you see, yeah, they are going to add other people to it.
Added two.
So already, if seven maintain their position, it means it's lost already.
Yeah.
You understand? And hardly will you have about two of them changing their minds all of a sudden. Yeah, I don't know the kind of argument that will play out. But that is the problem.
And with review, you don't change your evidence. Yeah.
So I think this particular matter is really going to create a problem for us. And I'm hoping that maybe something different will come out through the review. And yes, it's going to create a lot of problems. And the kind of commentary that is associated, the kind of things that people are saying about it. But you see, and also let me just crash on this particular thing. I have listened to some guys within the media landscape, the argument, and so, and some way it's for the lawyers to talk about it, you see? Or be a lawyer. You are not a repository of knowledge so far as law and whatever it is about. We know lawyers who are ignorant. They don't know their left from their right. You understand? Issue no bar. We just look at the clear-cut reason and common sense and the logic in it, and we make the argument. You understand? And I think even within lawyers, among themselves, they are divided. So it means there is no common position. So don't sit anywhere and say people cannot speak or people cannot comment because the Supreme Court is armed with the judicial authority, with the constitutional powers to interpret the law. Or more interpret the law, and Togo for, and Cote d'Ivoire for. They give it to Ghanaians, and every Ghanaian, whether learned or not, whether sick or well, poor or rich, everybody is entitled to express his opinion on any matter. Same as Obiachara on economic issues. You know, the same way everybody has the right to speak on legal matters. It doesn't matter. It doesn't lie on anybody's chest to decide who speaks on any matter. So I think people out there should not be intimidated. Yes, there are ways you need to go about it, but where you disagree, just point it out. What I said, that is how we build democracy. In America and elsewhere, Hannah said the lawyers in a teacher of mine. People who make nations are not lawyers, ordinary persons. Once you have talent, whatever that you can do. At the end of the day, no, play out together, we move a nation. But this posture of arrogance, that particular thing doesn't work in a civilized jurisdiction, and where we've got into in this particular world. Everybody has the right. That is why I call social media. People are expressing their opinion, whether you agree or not. That's their opinion. That's how we build democracy. You need lawyers democracy, you need judges democracy. Judges in the year law, no bar. They don't give it to they don't give it to their fellow lawyers. They give it to Ghanaians. Market woman, you know, if I know, and she's supposed to talk about it. You understand? So that posture and attitude of when I'm for you, and I think that particular thing has to be nullified.
Okay, Ivan Kyei messages be Abano on WhatsApp or say Ivan. You might be a Barca fan, right? Because only Barca supporters speak truth like that. What wisdom?
Yeah, Barca.
Ah, okay. Ivan, your friend is saying Barca fan. Okay, Sagashos Senam or say they are hypocrites, selfish and greedy. They don't think about the civilians, especially we the youth. All they know is to mingle with the slay queens. Hey, I see the Facebook, still on Facebook. David Aponsa, also a very intelligent guy. Lawe Ajay, all the security apparatus are working for the politicians, protecting the thieving politician from the citizens. Call for accountability. Very Agnes Dawood, very intelligent guy. You always speak the truth. Alfred Anachum, intelligent guy. Keep up the good work, bro. Dana Kwame, the guy is too enlightened. I hear Dume Sierra Gloria or my 100%. Yeah, okay. Kofi Amwa, also wisdom is talking. Lawe Ejay, this analog minds has nothing better to offer in this Android world. Conscious Agbemonu Awosu, also great guy here. We love Ivan Kyei Innocent. Joyce Vomawo, also hashtag free Oliver. Masal Diaba, hashtag free the youth. Hashtag fix the country Ghana. Hashtag active citizenship is not a crime. Alaji Ibrahim Fusein, or say Ivan and Wamao, thumbs up. Stephen Anoche Papa, or say I still don't understand why such a wisdom is a ness. Wisdom is in him. Okay, that is the message so far. Maybe a full line, so okay, but Ivan, quick one. Yeah, politics kakra.
Okay.
Yeah, football.
Okay.
Says about more qualifies.
Yeah.
And it has to take us weeks to get a stadium.
Yes, and the church say we are not serious as people, and I demonstrated the fact we are not serious, and we not being serious. I started the argument, and I told you about our psyche. Even if you move away from the government, the failed structure they see, now move away to other institutions that are related. It's the same incompetence and reckless decisions, and they play out. Look at the GFA. And a avenue for robbery and corruption. That is what people are perfecting in. So instead of them to just fix their mind, say, yeah, fix your mind, and you do the right thing, and just say everything is blowing off. There was sports authority, Chrome and I'm in charge of our stadium, and I said, Omunim said, baby, clearly, you have a bubble at the court World Cup. I have a qualify. The stadium, then yes, the Baba yet. Cape Coast Stadium, you say you buy about that particular ball. When you have few days to go, you don't do all these things. Honey, you acquire national parade. Knowing that that particular stadium, they are setting aside for this particular exercise. So unfortunately, I think that is our nature. A play out who we are as people. Always, you're near my hands and always, me say Ghana ni what we are good at. Say yeah, they are benefit me. Na you who say I didn't me no manya take a film. Quite recently, presidential cap na your boy and House of Folk ne Kotoko boy House of Folk win no. So unimo bi obo no be a friend na meda na mo de mom koje na hwe ade. So asa mo kwasesa na omudam baabi. Nipa desani be fasi ye de sika ma na wakakoto meda ne boy ye de obetimi de akosan baabi say oh Magic League meda ye de ama be no. Go and look at the medal. House of Folk, when they won the league, the same thing on the. So it's like always some people are quick enough to take advantage of the other guys. Every time it's about cashing out. We are not serious. And it's not just about this particular qualification. Do you know that all African games are about Chroma say? Stadium na esi ebesi wo hu say dey asoabo from baby
2023 or
yes.
African games.
Wo hu say dey asoabo from baby. Yes, Legon stadium na be corner kokko ha ade and other stadium we are not serious as people. People are busy stealing and robbing from poor people. So their mind is not on all these critical avenues, And that is what I tell you every day, say this country called Ghana consistently is sinking and is sinking deep. A time will come, we will be covered and we cannot be found. And that is why I'm urging the youth at this particular time that we must rise up and speak our mind, speak truth to power, and ensure say we fight for the destiny of this particular country. Because what baby now say when I future leader. When even today you don't have it. You are talking about being a future leader when you are losing today. Then there will be no tomorrow for you. Tomorrow, you will be Ghana, you turn their sikkim, turn their sikkim, no. This is a country, people who are mortgaging this particular country are 76 years, 80 years. Often, age 1,000. These are people who are selling this particular country and its future. And due to another, you think that you have a future. You must be fooling yourself. So we must be empowered. Now, you who say all sectors of this particular country is rotting away. It is about corruption when it comes to even political appointment. It's not based on merit. It is about when the command, when and when the sponsor, if it is about say when the bit me juma, it is about when the minimum and so forth. So at the end of the day, you know, we've succeeded in putting your friend is saying a man for who have no idea about what they are supposed to do in various leadership positions, and that ignorance is playing out at various sectors. So instead of them to sit down and say the sector we are sharing, what are the ways that me and Kasa met me and say in the future, and how do I put this particular sector on a trajectory? You better move on. That particular thinking is not there. Look at the sports. Look at the sports industry. If we are really reasonable people and we really want to invest in sports, I'm telling you, say that is the avenue we can get a lot of money from as a country. You better build a lot of academies. Resource our local teams, do a lot to ensure say you better because the Spanish economy largely, you know, rested on the football economy there. If you go to UK, that is what they are doing. Ghana, over the years, talents are bound. We have a lot of them. What are we doing? Even sports academy, in the name of the state here, Nibi. Oko, your first FIFA for my go and look at the state there. Stadium now you see quite recently is it secondary? Just go and look at the stadium. It's upon. Go and look at the stadium. Also I say quite just a nipan as a team. Yes, our psyche, I think we are sick as people. And we see me say yes to buy now to me otimisa ya de nyina. But what is also Jimeda? It is a winning answer. Not even Jesus cannot even save you. We need to be reasonable. Because when you get to that level, even God cannot save you. Because Jesus doesn't have the power to save you from stupidity unless you enlighten yourself. What oh yeah, such a there was no mention in the Bible say it's not there. So you need to be reasonable, and that is where we are not getting it. We are lost as people. We are not focused. When you sika wako isile go say masi dan 20 and I don't betimi ada dan 20 no nyinam when wako ne dem so sika ntino or the coat ne ni shoe nyina ekodware wako no de dabat mu dware ko sika woni sika wako awro sika ni ko awro ne ho. That is the point. And I mean, being at the hospital, I have seen men in their lowest form, both rich and poor. When people are on the hospital bed and they are dying and they ask you to hold their hand, things they tell you before they die, sometimes you need to know the life now play out and say wait me but that is not our mentality. The African mentality is say me nya power then I can enslave you to next time would recover by Jimmy bag now from the boss. That's what we want. But to empower you say by able to me do me level who say we are moving on, creating opportunities and maximizing your friends incentive for obia say being a bit thriving economic playoff. No, we don't want that because that's our mentality.
Maybe a full lines now. You full lines about for your quick win. We my friend 0503 236735 0503 236735. Pacho, what our phrase is here now. Me sure say TV no volume no down. And yes, I know white. We wait for papa. Obey you. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, a very good morning to Obed Amwako. Obed Amwako, you are watching us live from Qatar. Yamin Shah said, Oshaye Efi Qatar. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, Pacha. First, second, Afrefi.
Yeah, I'm free. That's so mine.
Pacha, first, saying.
Kofi Amwa,
Pacha, call so.
Hello.
Me Pacha, call so.
Hello.
Me Pacha, ye Kasa.
Yeah. Oh. Don't know come up. Yeah. Don't know come. Nyamishra Ivan. And in Yansa, when you hope for the Adumua, obey you tonight. Ya wo Ghana no obie ya ni cause
Maza, so what do you do so? Pacho offer 30 seconds pay. Now okay, over to my friend 0503 236735. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Fine morning.
Pacho 47 hour free fee.
I'm a case of freedom, your film could go Chirboa.
Pacho, call some so 30 seconds. Call some so.
The Pacho open and not to one. Yes, I did. Yes, your friend, yes, sir. Will be papa. Thank you, Becamia, Kagana Memunia, Yanfi Yagin, Efentanachi. Now, over to my baby papa, Abo Mino. To pay the phone, I would get me near Apollo, any baby, never, that's it.
Yo, yeah, that's it. SK Destiny, I said this young man always open our minds every day. Eye Obedamako, also Unikata, Dubai now, maybe I will be a shout. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello. Yeah, good morning.
What's your first and free fee?
Yes, I'm Michael, make a substitute.
Okay, Pacho call some so you too.
I find you very intelligent. Now, downloading a video to do on phones. Now, I'm going to meet you to connect and you're finding you garden on. Yeah, we be say one day, you have a man political opposition. Yeah, obeying the Nyansan, a boy and Ghana need to.
Yo, yeah, that's a self free. Here, DT, or say, I just love this guy. Nana Kwame, hashtag free Oliver. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, Pacha. First, and for free fee.
Someone can do the UK one panel. Can I do it? Because every time I pay.
Okay, Pacha, call some so.
I'm Patamamunta also. Mamma Tampa, Mamunta. Mata, why need in fact, you feel Kasa, Utmuse, Ivan, Yansa to Mudia. Say, no, and people that na Yasha, let me force you to say to be beer. Because in pay for no, you, Omudia Namo. Okay, as I said, to say, as for stadium are working.
Line on Akat, sorry. Nana Ejeni Watson Richman or say, bro, your submission is on point. But all for 30 seconds, but to Kwasam so back na yanko. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, Abubakar Yusuf. He Ivan is the definition of wisdom. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Me pacho first and for free.
Hello, good morning.
Me pacho your first and for free.
Okay. The me pacho is between this Ivan. If I'm down to go for Kodo.
Kowasem so.
Usha Ghana 24 no. More opposition now, more against power, but don't bet na Kojaswana, they'll do the wrong thing. So let's see what leadership may have more and say because Asham the national leadership he had a good intention, but when things come then they mess up.
Thank you very much. Me say and Isaac White, Ninyabre 30 seconds. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Pacho first and for free. Madina, your first saying. Okay, Kwasam so 30 seconds.
Young man, this submission on mine on point. That is it. I think we should all be objective about issues as when they come up. It is cautioning all of us to guard our democracy, and the honor lies on the judiciary to do that. And for this ruling, it's like they lost track of that.
Okay.
We are not guarding the democracy we are enjoying.
Okay, thank you very much. Over to my friend 0503-236-735. 0503-236-735. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Me pacho first and for free.
I am what Kakadozo, my time.
Pacho quick, 15 seconds.
Okay. For stadium, Ivan Kyei, the current state of this for stadium because 2008 we have light for and I won't matter. Let us say, but the second of my just get by the Senate. Okay, work up, I didn't work up, qualify, one work up. You can't abide because this is what we are qualified. Now, about a cow board, I'm a what you qualify. I cannot tell you. And you know, okay, Kumasi Stadium says, it's okay, Yamaka Pampa. You better employ a few proof to this level.
Yate, Ekufuado and Baumia have no justification to get us into economic quagmire. It is due to their incompetence and lack of vision. Good morning, Pache. First and for free.
Yeah, because I feel in Taiwan. You tell me, Kwame.
Okay, Kwame, call some so.
Yeah, when the person make us say, I mean, Ivan, I see how or Kasai, say, the young president is here, every other year, go for what or say, no.
What's the okay, dear? Sebio. But my friend 0503-236-735. 0503-236-735. Yes. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Pacha for seven of Frefi.
Mr. Free, Ablikma. Odebu, you're from Bernard Mauto.
Okay, Bernard calls him so 30 seconds.
Oh, I branch you know, or Yamisha, Papa. And the captain of Canina, Yanipa Minus, or my dad and the Manka, or my do, but yeah, you know, your pump, so money and group, Yamisha.
Okay, what's my friend 0503-236-735. Please tell Ivan that Ghana needs re-election. Why do we wait for 4 years to change our leaders' thoughts? Hello, good morning. Okay.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Pacha for seven of Frefi.
The Kasafi Dencha, Kaswa.
Okay, Pacha call some so.
Yeah, Ivan, names of no walk. You need to papa. Now, yes, Mama Ghana form for it's here almost started. And China green and Cobemo, no one could be in from than the Okano, with Jaika, Yanko Poinchidano. The program is in the
Yo, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. In a wedding vows, a couple promise to stick together in sickness and health. Still, there is a law that lets them get a divorce. Similarly, when a leader fails at his job, why aren't we given the right to replace him right away? Hello, good morning. Okay, yeah, last caller. My main court message needs to be brilliant submission. I just pray he doesn't get arrested for speaking the truth. Obi eni obe channel. Share. You be kind of quiet this out. Patrol to my friend 0503-236-735. 0503-236-735. Wait, the last caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Me Patrol first, if I'm free fee.
Patrol, I'm especially good to you.
Okay, Patrol, call some so.
Okay. I think Ivan, you're very good in the submission and everything. But then at the end of the day, no, you ever share so be maintaining the consistency you need the beer, send the beer, will be in coaching, and I say the piano, only opportunity into really low, only opportunity now, no, what's the son. I think that he's good, he should just.
Yeah, that's it. My last caller, I had the telephone lines, no, ABC. Ivan, remember your quick message, na you show no.
Oh, okay, I think say now obi bisa say to aba mo obi na say or mess up of failure. I didn't think into say no. I think the constitution now I'm making it quite clear. But the thing is that parliament now obi nyanda yes adwuma no. You will not get the numbers. So it's not as if say constitution in create a window. Constitutional frameworks are very reasonable. They created a window. So in such a situation arises, you need parliament to pass a vote of no confidence to get him out. But if you look at the nature, the 2/3 of parliament that is required to do that, there is no way you can have it. So it's not as if there is not avenue. There is a window there that is created. And again, no be kase or be opposition. Like when people are in opposition, they speak a lot of sense. It's true. You see, well, our part of the world now. Some unfortunate people rise to political prominence by accident. They Ghana person who rise to leadership position, just follow a political party, make noise. If you're fortunate, you can become a minister. Your horizon hasn't changed. But baby, I'll fire and work could draw. So nipa na onim nyansa no ye dey ya kwa kuduru suro no. You don't go there to learn wisdom. It's the same thing. What I say. But elsewhere, people make conscious effort to train people. Equip them with the requisite leadership skills, like in US and other places. That is what they do. Even in China, almost system no more, they know a line leadership in Befriaba. So these are people who are consciously trained. So by the power na man and for front. What I say, by Hano, Nipana accidentally no rises to political prominence and when your power na Sebi, Ajeno enru level idea leadership no. Onya na hofofono, they become arrogant. That is the turning point. So when they assume that arrogant posture na o Kenyans asema ontie all kasa na nsema na all can promising na for at that particular level no you say water don't your friend say water has found its level then and to that particular point go, you know, he is not amenable to any advice.
Sure.
So at that point, you know, they are team and no implement it. So they tend to forget about some now okay, yeah, but a word reason personal or names that follow through no way about, you know, when they rise to leadership position, you know, they are true to themselves, true to their convictions, and they're able to do things. And accidental leadership, that is what we have here. If you look at the way a man, people over the years screaming, me the president, they had every opportunity to learn, but no, it was just about being arrogant in power. And they're insulting and who do all of things. Instead of you to engage people, solicit ideas and opinion, crucial bit me or mine around. Because I say nobody is a repository of knowledge. So we are president, it doesn't mean say or mine but you have the power to enlist the finest of human brain, human resources that are available to help you turn the country around. Okay. Second word was I'm a man for a corn when you break. Now America wasn't a superpower. Do you know what they did? Sabana Germany, Japan, as no. They assemble scientists. I know most of them are no bomb. Among for kuninano, they assemble scientists and almost said them no more air bomb. So World War no more kuninana. By the time we bomb no. Harris S. Truman, Sumaya, you call Japan Kuku movie no. That is what powered America to become a world superpower. Because at that time no, or more, your friends, scientists and you want no more America now appear. Now they have bomb. Uyo manya, udi semuna. Ya baya say Japan no. That point America took over the world. What I say. So among for your money, I'm not much them using scientists thinking. Do you know one way? There was this moral destiny as to whether they should use it or not. Then I was like, war no more. They are killing people. Should they Japan for a year? Should they Germany for a year? Somebody need to stop the war. And what do you have to do? It's a big decision to make. Then let us fly the bomb, go and bomb them, and then they will end the war. They signed a treaty and ended the war. Japan for decided to say, okay, army crown, young for maybe. So Japan, they don't have a standing army. What they have is a civilian army. US military and so forth are all over the place protecting them because they have to channel all their resources into production, into machinery. So first, it's all kaya. Nyama na bagana ha nyina air tape na yetie na nasefo nya na free Japan enye Panasonic na ye way na nyina Japan na free. They had time and the economy was booming. That is what we do. We don't have a plan.
Okay, any day in Commentator and ABC ebeda Ivan Kyei Innocent as so obeka yensa kai said every Thursday bia until there's a further change, you know, or obe joining in na ya to train komo Afagana, but for now no, every Thursday be at 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock and ope be Ivan Kyei obeka yensa I mean kai messages be abano or say very educative program, keep it up. First time watching this channel, but I believe you have a good potential. Wefi Nana, let me get the name right. Okay, Nana Educhumwa 1. Yeah, that's to say Osha Koswa Eshe Active TV. Okay. Ivan, please, a thief is a thief. Even if he steals because he is hungry. This is the kind of leaders we have who switch parties for money. Are they not thieves? When will they perform their duties? We get a heart transplant right away if it stops function. Our leaders needs mental health. Thank you for your message on Facebook. Or say Wefi Al Sharif Zarani or say let's pray they don't transfer him to outskirts of the capital. Long live Ivan. Who transfer Ubia the SK Destiny. The nation is sinking, and when you as a citizen you are speaking about it, these politicians use state security to frustrate you, but we would not keep quiet. Thank you for your message. Ahana remember my Kwaina Yadi Jumedieno is the Meda production team now headed by Apostle General Two Sweets, Chachabo Johnson, Stephen, Isaac White, Omunyina Mobile production crew no Yadamunina Ase, Meda Evans appears on the sports updates by Fabia and Clement so madam say about entertainment any active bites Jami adoma ochina yebesi ikunya bio na say na Friday bia no cool tempo ochina so yebeta say na ochina mano na say obedi djumadi no chia me did the HN Boaten Jami adoma ochina so yebeta say koso ahwe Active TV.
Hey everybody hu yaman Ghana mobo God bless our homeland Ghana everybody vindicate your mind Ghana Nigeria free nipa bone for nsem amen everybody your mind Ghana na enye ye amen una boss ro boss asikoto bi una o ka bi ewom amen wa ye ne ebe yire isamba bi Ghana ebu Ghana ekoba akokora enche na Ghana ewu Ghana ye nipa anka 65 years obo extra time ko ba be wu oje mere amen ye ni ya hu everybody hu ya mobo amen everybody hu ya mobo amen everybody hu ya mobo amen 0503236735. Good show. Okay, hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Me ba cho di ni be bia ka se free.
I'm Pacho Lady to make a set at the
Okay, it's you.